I'm Carvel Esterblatt. Let's queer up the U.S. view. Here's how LGBTQ rights were front and center at No Kings. This weekend, it estimated that approximately 7 million Americans across the country took the streets to protest Donald Trump and his policies as a part of this second No Kings Day protest. Top protests cited were Trump's attempts to stifle the First Amendment rights, aggressive ICE raids, abortion rights, and LGBTQ rights. The queer community has faced increasing attacks from this president's administration, especially transgender individuals like myself. The Trump administration has banned gender-affirming care for minors and has pushed universities to ban transgender participation in sports, as well as to block bathroom usage. And the Supreme Court has also been hearing arguments against banning conversion therapy. Human Rights Campaign Chief Staff Jay Brown was at the No King rally in Washington, D.C., where he said, quote, "This president has a dark vision for America, one where families are told how to parent their children, where our doctors are forced to forego the oath to do no harm, where the government is ripping families apart and hurting our people, and they're cutting billions of dollars from HIV prevention and treatment. They're banning our books. They're firing teachers for use of teachers' nickname. They are firing gay workers who are putting pride flags on their decks. But all we are here because we believe in a better America. We believe in a country where kids can get a quality education, free from bullying, where love is love, where freedom is afforded to all and not reserved for the wealthy few. This America is at the greatest, and this is our America." Especially these times, I'm telling you, right now, it's a sign of a good time. I'm an eternal optimist, and I've been repeating that because we need more numbers of people to come together, and we've seen a lot of people come together this past weekend, and it was very peaceful, unlike Fox News reporting all the edge and things like that. And it's funny that there's some clips out there of right-wing MAGAs coming out there and getting their Circumma by falling down, and yeah, it's their administration of hate. They're if you can't speak any good of anybody, what is your point in being in government? This they're not here to administrate. They're obviously this pure hate, and we can outshine hate with love all day, every day.
You were there.
I was there. I was at one of them, yes, here in Fort Lauderdale in the Coral Ridge area. Thousands, tens of thousands. It went from blocks in either direction. It's at the corner of Oakland and US 1, and it went for blocks in either direction, and then 3 or 4 people deep all along the way. We sang songs, sometimes like freedom songs, sometimes patriotic songs. They had some of the old chants going. Sometimes they'd be playing some Springsteen. It was people coming together and celebrating that we can still get together and celebrate it,
right,
and make our voice heard. Now, that same day, of course, the president made a silly cartoon of him dumping sewage on people like me who were out there protesting. And here's what is so, besides being tasteless and gross and stupid and ridiculous and juvenile and sophomoric and stupid and all of that, but it is just almost unprecedented. A word that doesn't mean anything anymore in this administration.
It doesn't.
But that, okay, yeah, this party won, but you're still the leader of everybody. This is weird that if you're not in his party, and you can't even disagree with him if you're in his party. If you're not in his party and never disagree with him, then you are the enemy. Well, that's not democracy. That's not a multi-party democracy. So, okay, you won. Now we got to work with you, whatever. No, I won. That makes me the boss. And if you're not all, blowing smoke up my skirt, you're the enemy. That's not normal. That's not how countries work.
This is not
That's
normal.
not healthy, and that's not democracy. And that's why we were out there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, two of the things that I took away from it, when Republicans and mostly the Trump supporters said, we don't have kings. If we had kings, we wouldn't be able to gather like this. That's not what No Kings is saying.
Right.
No Kings is not saying we don't want the king we have. We're saying we don't want kings.
No, yeah.
Kings who are above the law. Kings who are making decrees, making royal decrees.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I really liked is how the American flag and the American symbols and red, white, and blue has been for the past several years really co-opted
Yeah.
by the right and made and almost become a symbol of fear
Yeah.
for people on the left. And I didn't attend a rally myself, but I did make a point to drive down to the one on Sunrise and A1A on Fort Lauderdale Beach, which was supposed to be several times larger than the one you were at, just because of they had more space to be at. And there was a couple flags that I saw that, made me catch my breath for a second, and then they unfurled and they said, "No Kings," or they said, and it was just, and there were a lot of support for LGBTQ.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
T and trans, especially trans rights. But what I noticed in the section that I saw was just a bunch of everyday Americans.
Yeah. And some older people who, because they've already fought this
It
battle.
was men, women, it was husbands, wives, it was
Everyone.
gay men,
Yeah.
lesbians. It was really a cross section, and that was really moving.
And I met a lot of people in their 80s, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes in wheelchairs. They've already fought these battles.
My mom went. My mom
Right?
went to the one in Buffalo.
And
Yeah.
so these people were like bringing their oxygen and their walker or their scooter or whatever, because it's that important to them. Like they thought they'd already won these battles. They'd done this back when they, for Vietnam, or they did it for Roe v. Wade, or they did it for marriage equality. Well, out there again. And so that was also a little inspiring to see that your activism doesn't have, like, you may get old, but your activism can stay young and engaged.
Anywhere.
My favorite
go
signs are
anywhere.
the ones that said, I got to do this shit again.
Yeah.
My mom, she's probably going to watch this and hate me for this, but she's 84. And she was out there. She goes to all the rallies. She goes to all the protests.
Yes.
She was protesting. I mean, back in the 80s, I think she was going to take her pins, from the political pins from now and all that from all the years.
I know it's hot here in Florida, but I like when people still wear their pussy hats, like to run, because that's still a
She
thing.
made them. She
made
yep,
them.
She made some. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yep, she sure did.
But they're cutting cancer care. They're cutting HIV care. ICE is basically a paramilitary unit. It's without accountability. Choice is gone.
Yep.
Trans people are literally under attack. They are literally being erased and demonized and dehumanized and moralized and treated like an enemy. These are citizens of the country. Do you know what I mean? And so I get so discouraged. And this weekend was one of the few times in the last forever that I was encouraged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where we've been all this time, but I mean, well, in June it happened again, didn't it? But we're in the streets, and it was, I think, 7 million in the country, and then more worldwide. And just here in little bitty Fort Lauderdale, there were about, I would guess, 800 people about where I was. And I think it was about 2.5 times that at the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, every major city, you saw the numbers. So it's just like, there is like I said, this administration, the level of how they're going to stumble on themselves as far as that, because there's enough people in this country that are seeing the light on how that. And then, like you said, the level of with these MAGAs, I'm calling these of dissonant, being like not understanding that we're not saying there's no kings. It's like I've lost my point. I'm so rusty in this thing. I know.
We're using king, maybe dictator would have been a better
They
word.
prefer a dictator.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They prefer that.
But we all know that that's what we mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But the other thing too that I had read is they said it only takes 3.5% of the adult population to publicly protest to stop an authoritarian government from completely seizing control. And we surpassed that this weekend.
Yes.
That's good news.
Yeah.
There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing to and sharing Queer News Tonight.